Yo, what's going on, guys? And we are here with my off-season rankings or previews, predictions. I don't even know what we call them anymore. But what to expect from the Milwaukee Bucks this season. Yes, they traded for Damian Lillard. So what's the expectation? I'm not going to sit here and be like they have to be a 70-win team. No, 50 wins at least. Yes. Championship run. Yes. That's the minimum. That's the floor. But let's talk about it. What happened this offseason and what should you know if you're a fan of the Milwaukee Bucks? So this team, they said, look, we lost in the first round. Even though we went 58-24, we need to change things. Fire Coach Bud, bring in Adrian Griffin. We turned Drew Holiday and Grayson Allen in one pick into, yes, Damian Lillard. Now, they have Damian Lillard, Malik Beasley, Robin Lopez, Andre Jackson Jr., Chris Livingston, Ty Washington as their new guys replacing Grayson Allen, Drew Holiday, Javon Carter. They brought back Jay Crowder, Chris Middleton, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So right here, what we saw was, and I've talked about this before, the Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo pick and roll is going to be unstoppable because when they had Drew Holiday, you would run the pick and roll and teams were like, okay, we'll just drop cover Giannis and dare Drew Holiday to shoot. Now you can't do that. You can't dare Damian Lillard to shoot, and you can't dare Giannis Antetokounmpo to not catch a lob on your head. And also, because you have that, that's just going to open up the floor for Pat Connaughton, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, and the rest of the boys like Malik Beasley just to keep shooting. MarJon Beauchamp's going to freaking take a jump. And have they announced what MarJon Beauchamp's new number is going to be? Because I also have a signed picture from MarJon Beauchamp, which I guess is now worthless because he doesn't wear 0. He's wearing 3. So, and MarJon... But with that being said, I do like that this team didn't care about the players' picks, luxury tax cost of what big boy transactions take. And guess what? Terry Stotts is an assistant coach for Adrian Griffin. Guess who's Damian Lillard's coach from when they made it to the Western Conference Finals? Terry Stotts. So this is a team that I'm truly, truly excited to see what they're going to do and how they'll look going into the regular season. And they have Drew Timme and Jay-Z and Gortman on training camp deals, as well as Alex Antetokounmpo and Marquise Bolden. Don't expect any of them to be on the roster. The roster is Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, Pat Connaughton, MarJon Beauchamp, Jay Crowder, Malik Beasley. Those are probably going to be the guys getting minutes. Then Robin Lopez, Giannis Antetokounmpo, AJ Green, Andre Jackson, and Chris Livingston, with Amari Moore, Ty Washington, and Lindell Wigginton being their 3 two-ways. So again, I do think that this is a solid roster, and I look forward to what they'll be able to do this year, as they're a team that I think is still definitely being overlooked or treated as if they're not overlooked, but people are gonna want the Bucks to fail, and everyone's gonna be pointing out the failures of the Bucks. And I hope that they're able to prove everybody wrong, win a championship. For Dame. I don't give a fuck for Giannis. I want this for Damian Lillard. And yeah, let's continue the video.
I'm definitely curious to hear your guys' opinions on what do you guys expect and why that the Bucks are going to do, because you know how much Chris Middleton and Pat Connaughton are going to open, and Lopez is going to be able to be single covered. So like, yes, Milwaukee is not going to have a draft pick for a while, but we're hoping that MarJon Beauchamp is going to grow. We're hoping that Pat Connaughton's going to take a bigger step. Also, Terry Stotts, Damian Lillard's old coach, is a new assistant on this team. Obviously, like, that's not what they brought him in for, but it's just something that should be pointed out and acknowledged. So for me, I definitely think this is a team that is a lot better than what we were expecting and should be given the credit that is needed.
I do want to say that I find it very interesting the fact that this is a team that they pushed. I mean, they really pulled the. They didn't really pull, like, look, they're not going to have picks at the end of the decade. And is it a risky, like, if they don't win a championship, it's kind of a risky move. But if they come close or whatever, I think that there's room for what they need to do and there's room for what they don't need to do. And they need to continue. I think they need to move on eventually from Brook Lopez and the rest of the guy and Chris Middleton, because I think the roster's old and they need to get younger. So that's something that will continue, I think, to be something that they're going to have to fight or try to compensate. But I think it's just a matter of time till they figure out what works best for them. And I could see this as a team that maybe at the deadline, they're like trying to switch Chris Middleton for like Jeremy Grant or Brook Lopez for, I don't know who we got, maybe Nick Claxton. That actually would be a great trade for them. I would love trading Nick Claxton. I would love to have Nick Claxton instead of Brook Lopez, but you want the 3-point shooting, so then that becomes a whole thing. Miles Turner would be more of the guy you'd like. And I do wonder what would become of that, because it's definitely something to consider, as I think the Bucks are a team just to keep watching, because they could continuously be making moves, and they could really be the team that comes in and is able to, because their salary situation is pretty fluid, they have a chance to take advantage of that. So let me hear your thoughts.